my last video, I showed you guys a UFO that took on 3 different shapes as it descended down, and this is the final shape here. In today's video, there's a man by the name of Bill Herman who took this photo, and these 2 UFOs look to be somewhat the same. So let's take a deep dive and let's take a look at these 2 together. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So I thought this was pretty interesting to share with you, basically because of the UFO that he has a photo of that I'll show to you in just a minute. But this guy's name is going to be William, or they say Bill, but you can look for William or William Herman. I'll put a link in the description. So he got kind of famous around the end of 1978, the beginning, or the end of 1977, the beginning of 1978. And he was supposed to be a contactee and a channeler. And his story kind of goes is that one day he was out, and this is the particular area here, and I have some audio that I'll play too. You guys can hear his own testimony of what he saw. But apparently he saw a UFO, and he was able to take several photos of it. And then a couple of months later, he came back to the same area to try to see if he can get more photos of it. He saw the same UFO, but this time, according to his story, the UFO came to him, shined a bright light at him. He got paralyzed, and he lost consciousness. And then after he lost consciousness, he found himself awake or awoken 3 hours later, and from what he claimed, about 15 miles from the location that he was at. So he was claiming that he was abducted by a UFO. But what I want to show to you guys is some of the photos that he took. And here's going to be one of the main photos that he took I want to show to you. So this is going to be one of the main photos. It's going to be the best one out of all of them. Now guys, bear with me. This was 1978, and it is an image that we're trying to bring in, so it's going to be a little blurry and distorted. I know some people may say that. But if you look at this and you look at the video I put out yesterday with the craft that seemed to morph or shapeshift or whatever we're going to call it, it does seem to resemble this in some ways. And there's a couple more photos I'm going to show you guys. I don't want to be the one that tries to see every UFO as being the same, but this could explain why some of them look different shapes and stuff. So if you zoom in on this a little bit, and I'll play his testimony in just a minute where he talks about the coloring of it and stuff, you'll see that it looks like the sun reflects off of it. It's kind of an orangish yellow color there, but he said it was the color of the craft, and when I play that testimony, you'll hear it. There's a color of the craft like an orangish yellow to it. But then these are some of the other photos too. So here's one of the photos here. So I have 5 total. This is going to be one of the photos here. You guys see that over to the far right. And the craft was, of course, going from right over to left. Here's going to be another photo that he took. And then here's going to be another one. This is the 3rd photo. Now, I've seen these photos before. I thought they were fake until I heard his testimony, and I was able to dig up some of these photos. And then here's going to be the 5th photo, or the 4th photo in this series. Right before the craft, I think an airplane or C-17 or something went by and it took off. Now, if you think about the video I put out yesterday, and it shows these images of this UFO that you're seeing here, you can see somewhat of a resemblance. Now, there's about a maybe 10 to 15 year time difference between these photos and the photos that I showed you before, but you can see kind of a resemblance in these 2, and I could be wrong, so correct me in the comments. I don't want to be too far-fetched on this, but I'm trying to kind of piece together some of these craft that we're seeing, especially from the 40s up until about the 60s or 70s. Now, if you kind of try to compare these 2, you guys can see there the original craft that was taken before, and then his photo here. This one looks a little bit more flat, but it could be the angle of it, the way it's taken off. It could be several factors, and like I said, it's a little bit blurry too, so you can't tell a lot with it. But this is, like I said, over, what is that, a 30-40 year old photo. And then here's going to be another photo showing the top. So they both have some kind of dome or something on top of it that you can see for both of those craft. And luckily this one tilted a little bit more so that you can see the top of the craft. And then here's going to be another photo where it kind of tilted on the side, which this is a photo from the video from yesterday where they saw the craft when it was in the woods. And I was trying to match these up. I wasn't trying to make it like it was going to be that UFO, but they just resemble the same sizes and shapes for it. Even the size of, I think he said his was about 30 or 40 feet. And then here's going to be the last one where it kind of descended off. So tell me in the comments if you guys don't think these are similar craft. I mean, this craft that he took is kind of descending off. You do see it kind of flat. It seems like it kind of flattened out somewhat, which could be the same with this one, or the older photos, we'll call that, from the 60s with that, when these people finally came out with these photos of this. So it's pretty interesting looking at these together. So I don't know what to make about this, but you guys put in the comments about it. But this is one of the clearest shots. It may seem fake to some people. This was taken in 1978. I wish we had a clearer picture, but this is the best shot I think that you can see between the two crafts, where you can kind of see somewhat of a similarity. I mean, these things could be flying, they could be morphing, or it could be a million and one things going on to it with these craft and the way they fly and the way they're operating in the Earth's gravity. And this is going to be his testimony too. I said I was going to share this to you guys. So go ahead and I'll quit my yapping. I'm go ahead and let this play.
And another thing was, it was very, very different. It was different in the sense that instead of being orange and silver, it was just like a silver metal appearance.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it had two domes, one of them on top of the object and one of them underneath it. But it looked sealed in metal. In other words, you didn't see no windows or no holes or nothing.
No windows.
No.
Oh.
You did not see any windows. It was just surface metal all the way around. Almost like sheet metal formed into the shape of a disc with two domes. One on top, one on the bottom.
How was the dome? Was it transparency? Or?
No, it was solid metal with the rest of the disc, and it was all colored silver with the sun shining off it. I mean, it was just beautiful silver, like aluminum or sheet metal.
So you guys have it straight from the horse's mouth. Now, he did talk about seeing two domes on it, but in this photo here, I know it's blurry and bad, but you don't really see that too much in this photo that we have right here of the craft when it kind of tilted off and flew away. But you do see it in this one where it does look like it has a dome on the top and dome on the bottom. Now, there's some more audio to this, but it's so horrible because when he did the interview, he was around the airplane and all that, things were flying around, which is very interesting they did that there. But maybe they're hoping to see it again. But this isn't the first time we've heard about people seeing craft and all of a sudden the craft taking on a different shape. I did a video on this there that you guys just saw, and there's going to be photos from yesterday's video, and of course these are going to be close-ups of that particular craft and flying around and taking shape. So do these things take shape as they're flying around, or is this their original shape and we're not able to see it because of whatever properties or something that's affecting? I don't know, but you guys put down in the comments. I'm always interested in what you guys have to say about this. If you know anything more about this, put it in the comments too, because I'd like to check out some more information if you guys have it. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Stay tuned for the next video. Appreciate you guys watching.